Hello everyone, welcome to 2 and 3D. So yeah, I'm improving this character further. Um so when we have the parallax for this character, and that is, we actually dealt with this in the last video. So I'll put the link somewhere around this video just so you can check it out later. Okay, so now the only issue with the 3D parallax thing is there is a problem of, like, if you want to make your character look to the left or to the right, like extreme left, halfway, like left or right. Um, so I think there's a way I can, in as much as my head just doesn't have any other head inside it, so it's just one head. So I think I have to, without breaking the parallax, so that I don't have to go back to that again, I will be creating another head, just another head below this, and it will be something that one can trigger on and off. Or better still, what I will do is I will make it inside here, and I'm going to explain that further down this video later on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just duplicate the head. So duplicate the head, and you see our head has this. So after duplicating the head, let's just drag it into this, like this. Boom. So now we have our head in head or whatever, like that. This FFT, well, this is a strange way of doing things, but it is what it is. So I'll just turn this off just so that we'll be able to work on the new head, and I'm going to call this head, let's give it right. Right. Let's give it right. Right. Head. Oh, let's give it head R. Thank you. That's even way better. Head. Head dot R. No. Dot R. Let's just make it capital R. Okay. So now let me go into isolation so that we'll just be working on just the head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the whole FFT to the left. So let's move it with the hair too, because the hair is also supposed to be. So I'm just going to move it like this, everything like this, till the nose is at the edge. So like this. Let's just take it back a little, that's fine. Now we need to bring this ear to the top here, and then drag it also to this point, maybe around this point is fine. Okay, so now we're going to get rid of most of these, but this hair it's too further out, so let's just bring it in just a little bit like this. I think it's fine. Good. So his mouth also, let's bring it in a little bit. Let's just bring it in. Well, to this point. This point is further. Okay, yeah. No, like this is good. Good. Nice. So what we're going to do is we need to get rid of this entire profile, this entire eye. So like this, we have to get rid of it. But we cannot just get rid of these just like that, because there are internal layers that are also there. So what we'll do is this. Let's just get rid of this one. Boom. And so we're getting rid of all the layers internally, the layers inside. So let's get rid of this one, and we'll just be left with just the A version of it. So we're getting rid of all the B's. IB, lead B, the lead, and then the pupil, pupil B. So let's just get rid of that. Boom. So now this here, you can delete this here, but I'm just going to keep it inside. It's not going to be showing, so yeah, it's fine. Okay, so now one thing you will notice, okay, the nose, we need to manipulate this just a little bit so that it is sort of like it should be popping out a bit, because we are in this profile. The nose is supposed to pop out way more than it is in other profiles. So let us drag this using the puppet tool. Let's move it further, and then now yep. So let's work on the hair. Okay, normally I would say, oh, you can just move some of these to cover up the hair or whatever like that. But in this case, because this head will not be parallaxing, we do not need this thing here. So let's get rid of that. But no, let's not just get rid of that. We need to draw over it. So we need to imagine. Okay, before that, let's work the head shape. So let's use our puppets. Our yes, these two. Let's do something like this. Bring this in a bit because it try to show that, oh, this is sort of like, and then bring his chin. No, let's put one here, and then bring his chin out a bit like this. Good. So now this is giving it that whole, oh, this character is facing this direction kind of look. Okay, so now what do we need to do now? Okay, the hair. Yes, the hair. So I'm going to lock this. In fact, I'm going to lock the entire layer, and then lock this layer. Then I'm just going to pre-draw. Just imagine where the hair is supposed to be and try to draw that. So so we're going to be following this, but not to the latter. Let me change this color to blue so that it is showing what I'm doing. Okay, so let's bring it out a bit like this, and then let's do something like this, and then let's do something like this, and let's do something like this. Good. So this is perfect. Bring it down, and then we'll do something like this. Good. So now this is his hair. I'm going to select it, change it to black, and then let's paint it. So let's pick a color. Why that's not supposed to be pure black, but um, that is not supposed to be pure black. I do not like painting hair black, but in this case, we just have to move on. So let's make it same black. I'm not comfortable with that. So let's take it to brown, but like let it not be completely black. Like that. That's perfect. Good. Okay. So now we have our hair. We can get rid of. Let's just replace this one. So we'll get rid of the old version. And then we have this. Okay. So our character is coming along. And now we just need to work on the mouth, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we need to work on the mouth. Okay, so now this is where it's going to be a bit tasking. I'm going to go into further isolation, just isolate just the mouth. And then now we will have to draw. Not completely, but we will have to draw. So let's do something like this. Lock this layer, then we'll do something like this. We'll do something like this. Do something like this. So we're just tracing half of what the character initially had. So half of the mouth, something like this. Lines are a bit thicker. Okay, no. So you have to do something like this. It should be halfway. Okay, so something like this. This. And I'm going to speed this process because you do not need to watch this. So I'm locking this out. I'm going to just not really speed through this process. I'm going to pause this video and come back when I'm done with all the mouth. Okay, so I'm done. And these are the mouth shapes. So this, this, this. Just all the mouth shapes are here. So now the issue is, oh, well, but like for instance, this mouth here, you see, if I just leave it like this, you see there is kind of like an opening here, which is making it look somehow. It's making it look like, oh, he's not actually toned. So there is an easy way to fix this, but I prefer using the method that is a bit longer. So in this case, what I will do here is I will pick this background, just going to duplicate it, and let me just keep one just in case I will need it, because sometimes you might have some issue with whatever the cutting and stuff like that. So you may actually need to just duplicate it, just so that yes, you're on the safer side. So I'm going to duplicate that and take it. Where is it? We can just take it to this point and just going to get rid of that triangle rectangle. So let's go back to let's make this like this. Okay, so we're in isolation once again, and now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be cutting this part of the mouth. So for instance, let's just expand this. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing is I will be duplicating and placing. So in this case, we do not need to worry about this cutting it, so we'll just duplicate and place here. So that's perfect. And then okay, so that's perfect, like this. Good. So for this one, we need to cut just a little bit of the face. So let's duplicate these, place it in the right place, just below the mouth, make it visible, and then now let's just cut it. Let's erase it rather. Let's erase this part. And I know it's not very visible. It's not very visible. It's not visible at all. So maybe is there a way I can actually do this without it has to be visible? Okay, so we just have to eyeball it. Let's do something like this. Good, good. That's perfect. Nice. So now we have that opening, that's kind of opening. So now let's move to R. In this case, we still need to cut it, but we just need to cut around like this circle. So let's do that. Duplicate into R, but below it. And let's make it visible. Then select it, and let's just erase like this. It's too much. Erase just the internals. Okay, so now there's like an empty space here, so that's good. Okay, let's move to the next. O. Let's move to O, and just like we've been doing, you select, then you cut in just the mouth, you cut just the mouth like this, something like this. Erase just that mouth, and now boom, have that opening. That's cool. I'm going to pause this video and just breeze through it. Okay, so that's the last one of them, and so now we do not even need this again. So we do not even need the default. We do need it actually. Now it's beginning. Yeah, just occurred to me that all these are overlapping the hair and some other things like that, the ears and stuff like that. So what we need to do just to make our work easier is okay, let's select the mouth, go into isolation, and what we need to do is get rid of most of it. So what we'll just do is we're deleting like this, so like this, and this will actually save you memory, so it's a good call. let's do something like this. And then we'll be deleting the top half. So make this bigger. Okay, we're deleting the top half just so that our hair will be showing. And I made sure all of them are actually visible. If not, you will not be able to do this. So let's go back now, and boom, our stuffs are actually not showing. So let me just do something like this. If R is visible, okay, yeah, this is what I'm missing. So this our default, that's the one below it here. Let's delete this one. Our default, this one is the first one, the one in the face that we had to duplicate that was there originally. So we need to also delete the bottom half of this. So we're deleting the bottom half of this like this. Okay, so let's do something like this. We erase this like this, and just make sure this is also like visible at the top. This part, your mouth, your mouth, all these layers are also visible there, so that you do not have any intersection issues. So as you can see now that I'm making it like this, I'm changing the mouth, you see that it actually works well. Boom. So if you remove the mouth, the bottom half is not there. But if you just, and you know that neutral will always be active, so no matter what, you always have this, and then when the character is talking, you will not be having these changes, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. That is it for the head. So now we're going to go into okay. So normally I would have said, oh yeah, maybe duplicate this and then make it left, so head L, but you don't have to do that because we're going to be duplicating this in Adobe Character Animator, so that we'll just have to rig it once, and we'll not have to rig it over again, over and over, like for the other left version of the face. Since it's the same thing, we're just flipping it. So let's go into Adobe Character Animator and work our magic. Okay. Well, okay, so now I'm back in Adobe Character Animator. We have our head, and then we have the FFT and the face, and then we have this head R that we just created. So first thing you need to do is we need to create a profile system. So instead, because we have already exhausted most of this, I think we used like 4 of them, so that we'll be able to get the character to parallax. So we are not going to be relying on this. Instead, we'll be using triggers to trigger that right profile, and then trigger the left profile, and then trigger the default parallax version of the face. That's what the client requested. So what we'll be doing is you could just drag this head and create. Okay, so let's just create it manually. So let's create swap sets. Let's call these head. And I think we have a head swap set somewhere. I think. I'm surprised I didn't do that. No, this is wrong. Okay, let's get rid of that swap set. We are going to be creating this swap set right here inside our head. So create swap set, rename, let's make it head. Good. So now we're just going to drag this FFT. Let's just drag the entire thing. Let's drag them in. And then let's make them large. But in this case, we need to move FFT into face here, because these two, this FFT and this face, they are just one profile, so they are supposed to just exist as a profile. And then this is like the flip, the right and the left. I hope I'm making sense. So let's rename this head F for frontal. Okay. This will be our default. That's head frontal will be our default. let's just make that default. And then this, I'm going to give this, let's give it C, right? I think I have something assigned to Z. Do I think I do? So let's make it C. Let's make it C, and then we'll make V the flip version of it. So C is fine. Okay. So now it means that you can trigger that. That is this. You can trigger this now by just pressing C. You can trigger this. Okay. So now, but we have to work on the triggers because this no trigger is attached. Like there's no trigger to it. So the browse and all these things are not really there per se. So we have to do that. And since we're only working with the A version, because this character doesn't have those B versions, it will be kind of a bit easier for us to make these triggers. So all you just need to do is drag and drop. So you drag this, you drop into the right swap set. So now I'm dragging scary to scary in the swap set, brow A, anger to anger, so like that. And I'm going to pause this video and I'll come back when I'm done with most of it. Okay, so I'm done with that. I added cycle triggers, cycle behaviors to the brow because they have two, each has about two layers, so it's supposed to go through and then to stop at this. Okay, so basically we're done with this character. We've been able to assign stuff to like all the triggers for the face. So what we need to do now is we need to duplicate this so that we'll create a flip version that is for this other profile. Normally you would have assigned these to these or something like one of these, actually this one, but because I'm already using some of these or in the FFTs and whatever, just so that I'll be able to get that parallax effect, I am not going to be doing that. So I'll just be assigning it to a trigger, on which I did see already. Okay, so now okay, this is supposed to be head, right? Yes, head R. Okay, good. So let's just do Control D, and that would duplicate this head. It has duplicated it with 2. Let's just rename this head L. Let's give it L. Okay, so it is carrying all the triggers that I just finished setting up from this. So you just need to select it and flip it on the x-axis, but it has to be independent for that to work. Right now, if I just, okay, I think I can actually do that. No, yeah, you don't have to make it independent, so it will flip. It will flip. So just flip it and then let's rearrange it. But right now, if I click this, that's if I make this invisible, it will also make this one invisible because they are both assigned to the same trigger in the in the swap set. They are assigned to the same trigger. So what you need to do is click head head R, and then you'll be able to see head L there. So get rid of that, remove head L from there, and then now let's drag head L into our swap set, our head swap set, and then let's just latch it. Remember to latch this, if not it will be flipping back. So let's make this V, and then that is it. So now let's make head R, let's make it invisible so I'll be able to position this correctly. Let's click head L. Nice. Select it. Let's move it like this. So yes, this works. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our profiles. Let's go back to our default profile, and then let's go to our record and see how it will work. Okay, the good thing about this is they are also replay triggers that I made for this head. That is for the frontal parallax head. I made that purposely for that. But because I'm reassigning the same trigger to that, the head, like the new heads that I just created, I assigned their triggers into this trigger. So this replays that are here will also work for the new head that I created, and I don't have to recreate this replays all over again. So let's just select this and go into our camera. So good. So we can see our parallax is working well. And then once I press, okay, let me say I'm turning towards the side, and then I press C, boom, it flips. That's really, really good. And you can see the movement is working fine. And I could flip back and then turn towards the side and then flip, boom. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now that is an issue that I have to fix. And I believe it's that break that you're seeing right there, it will be caused by the, what is it called, the kind of independence that particular portion has. So is that work? Is that also okay? For some reason, this is not affecting this one, but it's affecting the flip version. So I will check that out. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to check that out now, and I'll come back. Okay, perfect. That has been fixed. So it was an independent issue. So I just made that particular layer not to have independence. So let's go into the other one. It is fine. So perfect. So our character is looking pretty good. Okay, there's one thing that I need to actually just cover this in this video also. As you can see, there's a flicker, like the eyes are flickering, and in some cases you see just one of these will flicker, and that issue is caused by this particular thing. So when you come to your face here, because this character has auto blink already, when you now have eyelid strength, when you have eyelid strength set at 100, that is going to be causing some kind of weird issue internally in the software. So you need to get rid of eyelid, because you don't need that. You have auto blink. Either you get rid of auto blink and then you rely on the blink so that your character will be able to blink when you are blinking. Either you do that, or you get rid of, in my own case, I do prefer getting rid of the eyelid strength, because even the internal blinking system in Adobe Character Animator is not perfect. So but the auto blinking is very good. So you can set the timer, you can set the amount of blinks per minute and stuff like that. So that's way better than using this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down to 0. Boom. And once you do that, that flicker will stop. So it's now auto blink that is taking charge. So that's perfect. This character, oh, let me send that in. So you have to push that into the main source puppet. If not, it will not recognize it eventually. You might have to do it over and over again every single time you import your character. So do that also. Okay, so that is basically it here. This is the one thing he told me to add. So, and that is looking pretty good. So that's good. That's good enough. So you see, so you can combine with the 3 tutorials I've dropped. So now you know that you can combine your parallax movement, your parallax move head, and then smoothly move your head into a different profile by just making it a trigger. So that's pretty cool. So thank you for watching. Please give us a like, because it's up. It will help us to reach more people, and it also help us to reach more contents like this in the future. Thank you, and bye for now.